Hello there everybody, welcome back to another Train Sim Mod 5 video. Join us in Blackpool North. We're in the Athena simulations class 47 and we're actually doing it within a realistic setting. This route is set in the 1980s when this loco actually ran, whereas for the route it's set on the East Coast main line, it's not realistic. So on this route it actually is a little bit more realistic. We're going to be heading over to Preston. So we have got the time, we got the signal, so let's get all of these releasing. They take a little while to come off. We'll get the doors shut, and I believe we're actually in all stopper as well. Layton, Poulton, Kirkham and Wesham, and well, not Solwick, but I mean, who stops at Solwick? No one. So that 2 forward. Right, let's get going. Yeah, an all stopper in this, which is a bit weird, having one of sort of the 47 runs. Most of them are well, fast the whole way. So it's quite a rarity you actually get to stop at the little stops. See Layton as well. Oh, so who stops at Layton? Why are we stopping at Layton? Which is sort of like, well, I suppose a part of Blackpool, I suppose. Sort of the outskirts of it. Cool. Alright, at Blackpool North we go. I think this is still one of my favourite approaches, / when you're coming into it, sort of stations in TSW. Just the fact it looks so good, the signal box, and if you're coming in you've got the obviously Blackpool Tower and stuff, but all the semaphores everywhere. I do think it's one of my favourite sort of approaches and almost exits out of a UK station in the game. It's just really, really nice. A nice station as well. Oh, we're actually on the wrong line at the moment. At the moment we're on the down line, so I assume we'll be coming across. Let's do a quick little brake test. Because as soon as we're sort of past this depot here, or yard here, we're then straight onto the gradient down into Layton. Yeah, we're coming across here. It's at 30 mile an hour. So a fair speed across there. The little depot's empty at the moment. Cool. But I've been doing this route quite a bit recently, mostly in the 47. Just to sort of go between Blackpool North and Preston. It's a nice run, sort of half hour. Nice bit of scenery, a nice mix to it. Well, we could probably get up to about 40 or 45 and then we'll just coast it down into Layton as it's downhill. Plus I don't think it's the longest platform either. There's Layton there, so yeah, we'll get up. Well, let's coast it now actually. Yeah, a bit of a funny stop to stop at in the 47. And will we even fit on the platform as well? Because we're still a fairly lengthy train, so that'll be interesting to see if we do. We're on the fairly steep downhill gradient here as well. So again, not sort of rushing to get down to Layton. I don't think we've ever stopped here in the 47. I think most of the pacer runs stop here, but yeah, not in this. Here we are though, right down the end, but we might just about fit in here. We'll get down to about sort of 5 to 10 miles an hour, and then we'll start using the loco brake. So I've released the train brake now. It's got a little bit of power. Don't know if we start going up a little bit again. Just to roll us down to the end gently. Again, not the easiest stop to stop at, as you sort of come straight off that gradient. There you go, that will do. Right, this is Layton. And you do just about fit in the platform. Yeah, just about. I'm already a minute late apparently. Great. And Poulton the file next. Oh, look at that, look at that. As we start to get going there. Lovely. Off goes Isambard. Let's go full throttle. See, this feels right having it on this route. Even though we're not in the Great Western region, but yeah, it feels a lot better than to running it on the East Coast main line, which is still just find bizarre that that's the route it's set on. Or that's sort of the DLC route required. There's a pacer. Oh, look at that. That answers our question whether they can be mixed liveries. They can. If you don't have this route, I highly recommend it. Again, I know it's set in the 1980s, which to a lot of younger players of the game, once upon a time that was me as well, probably am still sort of within that younger bracket. Yeah, a lot of people will see it's in the 80s and be like, oh, I don't want an old route like that. But no, get it, it's really good. Again, when I was, what, 5-6 years ago, I would have been like, oh, not in the 80s, I don't want to play that, that's old. But the 80s UK stuff is so good, and there's so much variety as well. And of course you get the pacer on here as well, which is sort of just like great. Right, we've got a 35 coming up. That starts near the next signal, I believe. So, yeah, we'll start popping that down. And it comes down to 20 after as well, as we come into Poulton Field. Which again, quite nice. It just feels nice stopping, having a stopping service in the on one of these sort of more express runs. Well, the usual express runs. There was the old line off towards Burnnays, or Fleetwood, as it once was. And you got the 20, which starts just up here. So we're trying to sort of keep at 30 at the moment. Pop the brakes on now. Let's bring us down for the 20. There's the 20 there. Another cool thing about this route is it's like a bit of, well, it's not a network, but there's lots of different ways you can go. So you've got sort of the main line from Preston to Blackpool North. You've got the branch line up to Burnnays, but then you've also got the Blackpool South branch line and the line down to Ormskirk as well. So there's lots of different ways you can go, which is also quite nice. Here's our next stop. Poulton Field. Probably don't need to go right down to the end here, that would be a little bit excessive. I can't remember how many coaches we were. We won't need to go down the end. Try and guess when we're in the platform. Yeah, I'd say probably about here, that would do. In fact, you've even got stop markers here anyway. Yeah, that literally do here. Which is, yeah, pretty spot on. Here we are, this is Poulton, oh that is literally spot on. Poulton Field. Right, let's get that one off, we'll get that one on. And we're actually only 30 seconds behind now. Okay, come on, Westsham next. Watch it leaving. Coming up to the fastest part of the route, or one of the fast bits. Why does it look like our tail lights are on? That's weird. No, not anymore. Yeah, off we go. Yeah, this is the Athena class 47, part of the ECML Rail Tours DLC. But we're running it on the Blackpool branches route because it substitutes onto basically all of the other 47 services in the game and the rail tours. So if you like your rail tours and you want a slightly different train, even though it's not that special, but yeah, get 47484 for it. I think it's 50 at the moment, but it will go up to 70 or 75 quite soon. 70. Cool. So this train performs quite well in these conditions, but I was doing a run last night on this route. Rain, fog and everything like that, and sort of past Kirkham and Wesham towards Preston, it did not go above 65. It just didn't want to. So in certain conditions, well, the 47, it doesn't like to go fast. But we should be able to get to 70 easily on this bit. And we'll know when we're coming up to Kirkham and Wesham, because we'll see the signal box sort of on the side of the hill or side of the cutting. Let's get a shot of this. Bit of greenness. We're getting that one as well. It's a bit bright, isn't it? Let's what would it be? The brightness. But is that saturation up a bit? Oh, that's a bit too green now, but let's go for that. Sort of on the slightly flatter part now. Almost at 70 as well. What's everyone's favourite part of this route? So I used to say it was the Blackpool South branch, because I used to like going down there. But I don't know, I just quite like this mainline bit now. And so you sort of go into the more major station, Blackpool North. And you've got more sort of variety on here as well. The 47s, the Pacers, the 101s. So I quite like sort of coming down or coming up here. Greens on those signals, always good to see. Cool, let's hop back in. And if you have made it this far in the video, thanks all for staying in on this sort of 47 stopper in Isambard, Kingdom Brunel. Look at that, roaring past with the Mark 2s, I believe we've got. I think they're the Mark 2s we've got. And this service goes all the way over to Harwich, so literally from one end, well, one side of the country all the way down to the other. So there's probably probably some sort of connection for the ferry across to Holland. That's like the Netherlands. This train would be for people going over to Europe. Sort of a shame because you used to have so many of these types of trains, like back in sort of the 70s or 60s, 70s, 80s, sort of these boat trains which then would then connect to ferries over to Europe. But I suppose you don't really get them anymore. So I suppose people just fly nowadays. Probably fly out of Manchester to the Netherlands or wherever. You have like the Weymouth boat trains with the 33s, the Folkestone boat trains, New Haven boat trains, but you just don't really get them anymore. But is there really any boat trains left? The ones up to Stranraer for the ferries over to Ireland, or Northern Ireland. I suppose really it's the trains up to Holyhead. I suppose they're sort of boat train services, but yeah, I don't know. Is there any sort of dedicated boat train service anymore? Or boat train services anymore? Or not really. So you got Kirkham Tip coming up, which sort of indicates that we're almost at Kirkham and Wesham. I think we've already gone past the signal box. We will be coming across the points as well. So we do need to slow down. You got the warning signal there as well. You have to come right across. Speed to come right down. All ready for Kirkham and Wesham. Lovely. And then you've got the old line which went off to Blackpool Central. Sort of the old bridge abutments here for that. I always feel like I'm a bit slow into Kirkham and Wesham. Like you probably could go a bit faster on this bit. But yeah, best to be safe than sorry. We've got the signal up there telling us that we're coming across, and I can't imagine that's that quick. So it's quite a sort of a tight junction. That's probably what, 20, 25, maybe 30 at a push. Find out in a second. Hopefully it's no lower than that. Imagine flying along at sort of 40 though and seeing that. You'd be like, oh, quickly get the brakes on. It's not 10, is it? 30, I think. Or was it 20? It's one of the old stencil boards, 30. Come on, train, what are you doing? Coming down a bit too much. So we're coming right across here. Hardly ever use those sets of points there. And the branch line down to Blackpool South. Sort of another area with quite a lot of activity. Like yeah, there's a few freight trains I think which come up here to Kirkham, and there's also a rail tour as well, which we've done, which goes into Kirkham Tip. Just because that's a place you want to go. Holding up another train there on the main line. Sorry, mate. What's on the front there? 47? Yeah, no, 47. What's it going to be though? Out of literally all the 47 variants you can see. No, just the bog standard one. And this is Kirkham and Wesham. It's a wide island platform. Red light at the end as well. So we've got to be on the safe side. Here we are. Get a little bit slow into here. Brakes take quite a while to release on here. We'll go, well, to the 8. That should be when the train's in the platform. What is it, Poulton Lafard? That seemed to be the sweet spot to stop. Yeah, that'll do it. Yep, and we're in alright again. Cool. And we're on time as well, which makes a nice change. Set that to that, and that come off. That's on already. Here, Kirkham and Wesham. There's your puddle to get some nice shots of the train and the reflection. Yeah, that's where we are now. So sort of halfway between Blackpool and Preston, although from here it's quite quick. Okay. Have the brakes to come off, and off we go. And again, you can have the door open, bit of extra ventilation. Let's have a little bit of thrash. There we go. Well, up to 30 for now. And I think, yeah, 75 after here. That's shut now. Yeah, I think up to 75, so it's quite quick from here on out over to Preston. And we're skipping out Solwick as well. Solwick, I mean, you can see it on the map. We'll quickly check it now on the map. Not really anything stops there. Look, the next train's at 17:17, going the other way tomorrow morning in the game. So yeah, not a lot of stops there. I think it might be 75 this bit. So a nice bit of speed we can get now. Just gonna have a little shot here. Cool. Over towards Solwick. So then we've still got to run this on West Cornwall Local. That's on the cards to do at some point, but that's quite a long journey, and I'm not really a fan of West Cornwall Local. It's a bit of a meh route, but at some point we'll run it on there. Number 47, yeah, number 47. Again, just sort of the bog standard one with the T tankers. I think that one goes up to Burnnays, that service. If we could check it. Yeah, Burnnays, that one. So that's the branch line which goes off at Poulton the Field. That's where that tanker train's going. There is one route I would like to get back to, and that is, we're talking about tanker trains, is Midland Main Line. We haven't done that in a little while. Sort of quite a route we don't play enough of. It's a good route, we just don't play it that much. From Derby and Nottingham down to Leicester. Very good route. Got a little blind on here. Yeah, knock that down a little bit. So yeah, I think it is 75 on this bit, so let's try and make the most of that speed. Cool. Imagine turning up to Solwick station and expecting the train to come today. In for a nasty surprise. Oh, there are people there, what are they doing? The next train's in like hours. We're a bit early. Industry here as well. Yeah, it's a lovely route though. Again, if you don't have this route, highly recommend it. And if you're not really too much of a fan of it, try and get it on a sale. I don't think you'd regret it. Same with really West Coast Main Line over Shap. That's one of those routes where it's just like, wow. And also another route I'd like to get back to at some of there's a bit of a trend here, isn't there? Lots of different routes I want to get back to. Is Mittenwald Barn. As we've had so many releases recently, it's sort of just move on to the next, do the next one, do the next one. But now we're sort of coming into that sort of quieter phase now. After sort of the rush of all these releases, we can start going back and doing other bits and pieces again. So I'd like to do Mittenwald Barn. We've done quite a bit of Cardiff, so we'll probably maybe put that on hold a little bit. Yeah, Mittenmore Bar, Midland Main Line, maybe some West Cornwall local. Do some more of the Dutch route again. Too far off Preston now. Fairly soon we'll see the road under construction. Once we see that, we'll start thinking about coming down to 35 miles per hour, which is what the speed is sort of coming around into Preston. Then it will come down to 25. And also another thing which I mentioned quite a lot of is if you've played the route so much, get the HUD off, see how you get on, because it really elevates the experience of playing Train Sim World with having the HUD off. Like having the HUD on, it feels a lot more like just a game. Well, of course it's a game, but having the HUD off, it just makes it a lot better. Elevates the experience, and obviously makes it more lifelike as well. Right, let's pop the brakes on just a little bit. Well, actually, we do need to do it a little bit. A little bit more than a little bit. Down to 35 before the other side of the little bridge coming up, and we have got a single yellow as well, so we certainly will have to get the brakes on. Also notice no AWS with that either. This route is, well, the 80s. I think 1986 this one's set in. Same with West Coast Mainline Overshap. So AWS was sort of still being implemented. Down for the 35. Sort of the landmark coming into Preston, the big church there. Now looking out for the red signal. There's a chopper, look at that. That's the rail tour which goes to Kirkham Tip, that one. And I think it also goes up to Burnnays as well. And there's the red light. Yeah, top and tail choppers on that. Nice. There you go, green signal. It's up to, well, I'll probably go to about 25 and leave it at that. Not really much point going above 25, considering we'll be slowing right back down. Then you got the electric wires here. So if you like the look of this route, there is also another route out of Preston, also set in 1986. That's the West Coast Mainline Overshap. Which is one of the most impressive UK routes, and it is the longest UK route in the game. Going from all the way here in Preston all the way to Carlisle, which is like 90 miles up. It's a long old way. With the mighty Class 87. Platform 4, so yeah, we're coming across. This is 25 coming across. You've got the old position light signals as well. Well, that's red. With the red and white. Track workers down there. Right, here we are. This is Preston. Right down to the end of the platform. Well, that was a nice 30-minute run. I mean, it really doesn't take much longer than doing the fast run. Nice and steady up to the red light as well. Down. Cool. Just try and use the loco brake. Which at sort of this low speed is quite, you know, alright to use. But you wouldn't want to use this brake at a high speed though. And there we go. Here we are. Well, that is going to be everybody. Another video here on a couple of minutes late, apparently. Boo. Yeah, that's going to be everybody for today's video here on the Blackpool branches route in the Athena Simulations 47. Do let me know what you think. Again, yeah, a bit of a odd pack, but yeah, it gives you this train. Links can be found all the usual places: Discord, PayPal, merch store. Apart from that, see you all and take care. Bye, guys.